Hey guys, it's Marshall Mathers the fourth here, back to you today with another video. And in today's video, this will be a video talking today about the fact that no woman will ever want me. And I want to start off this video by saying that, the reasons why no woman will ever want me and why I'll never have a girlfriend, and especially a wife and children of my own, is because of the fact that I have no confidence. I have no self-esteem. I don't have courage to ask out any girl that I like, that I really want. And I knew this even since I was a teenager in high school. All the girls that I ever had a crush on, I was shy of, because I'm very shy around attractive women. Extremely shy. I'm timid. I'm uncomfortable around them. I feel uneasy around them. I mean, hell, I'm even as much as stressed out around attractive women. I start sweating uncontrollably because of how stressed out I am. And I'm timid around them. I'm not afraid of them or like scared of them, but I am timid around them. And, all my life, I've never known how to be normal around women. I didn't know, like, how I should be, how I should act, what should I say. And the other problem is that all the girls I had a crush on in high school already had boyfriends. They were already taken up. So I was at a loss anyways. And, any time in my life, even now up to this point, at the age of 25 years old, in the year 2022, I'm still shy. I've never had a good sense or feeling of myself. I've never had a good style of clothing. I've never had confidence, never had self-esteem, never had courage, never had the balls to just walk up to and approach any woman that I have a really big crush on and just simply and easily ask her out. I've never been able to do that, and I never will be able to do that. And, girls or women are not attracted to men who are shy. Shy men are very unattractive to women. Women find men who are shy or introverted or antisocial or whatever to be weird, to be creepy, to be freaks. And, men who are shy is a huge turnoff for women. And I've known that for a long time. I didn't even need to watch videos on YouTube to understand and to know that women are extremely turned off by men who are shy, by men who are introverted, who are antisocial, who are reclusive, who keep to themselves, who mind their own damn business, who are not normal. Because what's normal in our society is men who are confident, who have self-esteem, who have courage to ask out girls that they want to either date or especially marry, or guys who have confidence, self-esteem, or courage to just about do anything in life, like get a job, have motivation and drive to do that. Or like, I don't know, just like those traits are important in this world, in our society. Our society depends on men who have those specific traits. And if they lack them, then those men are screwed. And men who lack those traits are a burden to our society. And, you know, I just feel like shit pretty much every single day. Every single day that goes by, every week, every month, and every year that goes by in my life that I don't have a girlfriend, or especially a wife, I feel like dog shit. I feel like absolute garbage because of how badly and desperately that I've wanted either of those things, especially when it comes to actually marrying a woman, which I honestly want even more than just dating one, because I feel like dating a woman is like kid shit and teenager shit. And I'm not a kid or a teenager anymore. I'm way past that time period in my life. I'm an adult. I'm a 25-year-old adult man. And if I were to even find any woman that I would like, or that would like me, if that even were the case, which obviously it never will be, but if that were the case, I'd want to marry her on the fucking spot. I would want to marry her right away, immediately. And, you know, if I wanted to know if we had anything in common, if we had any similarities between each other, what I would do is become friends with her first before deciding to marry her. So that way I would be able to find out, do we have anything in common? Do we share any similarities? Do we relate to each other? Do we connect to each other? Especially on a deep and personal level. And if not, then obviously I wouldn't marry her. And that's the way I personally would find out if I were to want to marry a certain particular woman in my life. I wouldn't date a woman. I don't believe in dating. And I think dating is just one of the most overrated things in our society. I mean, sometimes I feel like it's more even overrated and more common than even people who marry each other. And, you know, because I'm not a kid anymore and because I'm not a teenager, my dating days are gone. I missed out on that chance and opportunity in my life to date a girl because I've wanted to have a girlfriend since I was, pretty much a fucking kid. Since like elementary school, middle school, and by the time I got in high school in the 9th grade, when I was 15 years old in 2012, and in 2013 when I was 16, the year that I dropped out in the month of April in the year of 2013, when that time period of my life came, I wanted a girlfriend just so severely and bad. I mean, I wanted a girlfriend so much when I was a 15, 16-year-old in the year 2012 and 2013 that it caused me a lot of emotional torment and trauma. It literally broke my heart because of how much level of emotional pain, torment, or trauma that it caused me when I was a teenager, because of how much of that shit it brought on to me. And because of the fact that I had to deal with that shit up until this very point in time, since I was as young as 15 years old in the year 2012. So I've been dealing with a lot of emotional shit since I've been a teenager. And it has not gotten better. It has not improved. It has not looked up for me in any way, shape, or form. It just continues to spiral downward. And, you know, the worst thing about me, knowing that I'm still a virgin at the age of 25 years old, as of this year, in the year of 2022, is the fact that I'm a very horny guy. Just a flat out extremely horny guy. And there's no denying that fact. I mean, that's one of the most obvious and clear things about me. And what sucks so much is the fact that I have some of the most bizarre, strange, weird, just out there fetishes compared to most other men in this world. I mean, obviously, there are men who share the same exact fetishes that I do, but most men don't. Whether they're Chads or Tyrones or Chadrigas or whatever, or if they're normie guys, hell, even with most incels, unlike me, don't have or share those same fetishes that I do. And I realize that, like, I understand that, I get that, and I don't really care, that's fine, because I don't feel that bad, because I know that there are at least some other guys out there in the world who have those same fetishes that I do. And I knew that I had those fetishes, or that I got off or was turned on by those things that I am turned on by, since I was a little kid. I mean, I discovered what turned me on, what made me horny, what got me excited, what made me hard. I mean, I knew this since I was in elementary school, like I said. Since I was a little kid, I knew that I had a thing for attractive girls burping or attractive girls farting. And when I became like 14 years old in the year of 2011, I started to find out that, wow, I'm also turned on by attractive women shitting or pissing. Those are my 4 main turn-ons. And since the age of 14 years old in the year of 2011, I have been getting off to that shit. I have been masturbating for that many years of my life, for that long. And when I look back on that, not only am I shocked, but I just feel so low because of the fact that I've been doing that for that long, for that many years of my life. And, you know, I know that I'm probably never going to stop masturbating. I mean, I've been masturbating now for 11 years. I mean, if I started in the year of 2011 when I was 14 years old, and last year in 2021, I would have been 24, and so that would have been 10 years. And this year is 2022, and I'm 25, so this will be the 11th year that I've been jacking off to. This will be the 11th year. Not that I've been jacking off to, but that I've been, I don't know really a good way to put it, but I've been jacking off for 11 years now. And there's nothing funny about that. At least to me, anyways. I personally, in my opinion, don't find anything humorous or hilarious about that. Not the slightest bit. Because I know how much suffering that I've been through. Hell, even because of the fact that I've been doing that for 11 years. For the past 11 years of my life, I've been masturbating pretty much nonstop. I mean, I wouldn't say I do it every single day, but like I can't go a week without doing it, or like that long without doing it. I mean, I almost do it practically every single day. Every week, every month, every year, whatever. Like, and you know, it is breaking me down emotionally because I didn't ever want to be the guy who would be doing that for that many years of his life. I didn't want to be that person, but yet I am. Because I never had a fucking girlfriend. Because I lacked the important traits of confidence, self-esteem, and courage to walk up and approach any girl that I really liked, that I had a super huge crush on, to ask out on a date. I was never able to do that. Ever. And I obviously never will be able to. And that realization is one of the most ultimate things that have crushed me so much over the years. Since I have been a teenager. Because even since I was a teenager, I knew that in my future, I would just continue to suffer and just continue to have hardships and difficulties that I could not do anything about, that I could not change or make better or improve. Because I lacked the resources or I lacked the materials in order to do so. It's never been easy for me in my life. I mean, I've known even since I was a child that I was never a normal person. I was never a normal guy to begin with. I knew that since I was a little kid. Even since I was going to elementary school, I knew that there was something off about me. Strange, bizarre, weird, not right about me. But I couldn't change it because this is just what I was born with. This is the way I was born. This is the way I came into the world. I couldn't change it. I couldn't stop it. And, you know, as I get older, I just accept my suffering or hardships or difficulties as best and as well as I can, because what's the point in trying to fight it when I can't? I'm incapable of fighting all the bullshit and hell that I've been going through since I was a kid or a teenager. And it's just been weighing me down for that many years of my life, for that long. And, you know, I cannot change the way I am because I'm not a normal person. I'm not a normal guy. I don't fit in to this world or our society. I don't belong in it. I will never be accepted into it. And years ago in my life, I tried to do exactly that by going to high school. But I've gone to school since I was a kid in elementary school. I went to middle school. I went to high school because I tried to be normal. I attempted to be. And my parents also, obviously, and of course, tried to help me in the ways that they could and that they were able to to help or make me normal. And, before I even went into high school, I joined football. But I fucking hated it because I sucked balls at it. And then when high school actually started, and after I quit football, I joined wrestling because, I wanted to be popular. I wanted to have lots of friends. I wanted to have the girls all over me. I wanted to have the girls throw themselves at me, literally, just the way they did to the other guys. And I knew even before I went to high school that the two most popular sports when I was a high schooler were football and wrestling. Those were the two main, most popular sports when I was a teenager in high school many years ago. And that's why I decided to join football in the first place. And I attempted to be a part of that. And, I wanted to be accepted into something. I wanted to fit in. I wanted to belong. I wanted to be normal. I wanted to be popular. I wanted to increase the chances of me getting a girlfriend when I was a teenager in high school. And that was the way that I did it, by joining those two sports, but one at a time. When I tried football, I fucking hated it after I did the first game because I sucked massive balls at it, and I was sitting on the bench for most of the game anyways. And then when I did wrestling, I also hated that too because it was too hard for me, and I didn't have the kind of energy or strength or whatever to even do the practice wrestling. I was never that strong in my life. I've never worked out because I have never wanted to. I never had the desire to want to work out myself, even just on my own time. I've never been the kind of guy who goes to the gym and lifts weights or goes on the treadmill or whatever. That was never me. That was never who I was. And, when I did wrestling, that shit scared me when I was a teenager. Even just doing the practice, it was too much for me to handle. So I quit that too. But when I was going to high school, I saw that the guys who were just spectacular at playing football and also just amazing at wrestling were popular. They were loved. They were cared about. They were respected. They were accepted. They had many friends. They had girls throwing themselves at them, literally. They had lots of girlfriends. They were able to flirt with any girl that they wanted to. whether they were her boyfriend or not. And they had a good sense and feeling of themselves. The guys did. They had pride. And, obviously that makes total and complete sense because they were good at things. They were good at football. They were good at wrestling. Or they were good at both, for that matter. And because they were so good at those sports, it helped boost their popularity and boost their confidence. It made them feel good about themselves. It made them have pride. It made them get girlfriends and have many friends who wanted to be friends with those guys. And I tried those two things and it just backfired on me. And, I never had a good sense and feeling about myself my whole life. I've never truly loved myself. And I mean, why the fuck should I? I mean, honestly, ask yourselves that. Why should I love myself when I have never, ever had anything good in my life of all the many years that I have been alive? I never had any real friends, not a single one. I never had a girlfriend when I was a teenager or when I was a kid, knowing that I even wanted to have a girlfriend since I was a kid, but I didn't. But at least by high school, by the time I was a teenager, I definitely should have had a girlfriend because, I mean, it wasn't that big of a deal that I didn't have a girlfriend as a kid because most guys didn't either. But by the time I was just even in the 9th grade of high school, every guy had a fucking girlfriend. Every guy was matched up with someone. Except me. I was the odd one out. I was excluded from all that. I was deprived and underprivileged and just completely and totally missed out on that opportunity. Missed out on that wonderful experience. And it killed me emotionally. The less I had in my life compared to most other people just killed me inside emotionally. It destroyed me. It damaged me completely, 100%, inside and out. It made me feel so worthless and empty. Like I'm just a nobody. Like I'm a worthless, pathetic, pitiful, low-life loser who will never amount to anything. And guess what? It looks like that was right about me. It's kind of funny in a sad way that even as a teenager, I was able to predict the fact that in my future, as I would get older, my life would continue to spiral downwards and to just keep on continuing to get worse and worse the older I would get. But because I've been suffering for so many years, some of the things that I have suffered because of over the years since I've been a teenager, I've honestly gotten somewhat kind of used to and like numb to. When people, I mean, I've at least seen this in like some like sad movies in Hollywood sometimes when there's a character that suffers so much and they'll talk about how they're numb to their suffering because of how long and how many years of their life that they have been suffering for. And that's pretty much me. the older I get, the more used to and numb to my suffering I become. Like how I didn't have gaming consoles and video games when I was growing up as a kid, or how I did not get to experience being raised in a big city and being surrounded by diversity and being exposed to both those things since I was a kid growing up in the 2000s, or at least a teenager growing up in the 2010s. And also, like, I have pretty much become numb to the fact that I never had a gaming computer when I was a teenager, even though I really wanted one since I was 16 years old in 2013. And like other things like that, like little things I have become somewhat used to, somewhat numb to. But when it comes to things like not having a girlfriend since I was a teenager, I will never become used to that. I will never become numb to that, or I will never accept that in my life. I will never be able to. And you know, even when it comes to the other incels that will say that they're used to being a virgin, or that they're numb to it, or that they just accept being a virgin and they're just gonna like deal with it the best way they can, I don't buy that shit, not for a second. Because you can say all you want that you accept the fact that you're an incel or a virgin or whatever you want to call yourself, or that like you accept it, that you're used to it, or that you're numb to it, or that you're not bothered by it. But deep down inside, you're dying emotionally. You're just falling the fuck apart. And I find it pretty annoying when incels tell me that. Other incels that maybe I'm friends with online, or that every now and then I talk to, or something like that, or who comment on my YouTube videos or even community posts now and again, you know, I don't buy it. I can't believe you. Because, you know, I could say that myself. I could say that I accept the fact that I'm a virgin, or that I'm used to it, and that I'm numb to it, and that I just don't care anymore. It doesn't bother me. But I know that's not true. That would just be me trying to put on a mask to try to hide my true feelings and emotions deep down inside. And, you know, I wouldn't be that kind of person, because that would mean that I would be being fake, a liar. And I'm not that kind of a guy. I can't be. I've only ever been able to be an open book. Someone who just pours his heart out, trying his best to be heard and to be understood by whoever. And, you know, the truth about me is that on the inside, I'm dying emotionally. I'm falling apart. I'm a miserable wreck. I'm someone who's just so emotionally shattered on the inside, so damaged, so broken beyond the point of repair. Like, I don't think anyone will ever be able to fix the amount of suffering that I've been living through in my life, and just trying my best to deal with and accept the best way that I can. You know, I don't know. I just I just feel terrible because of all the years of my life that I've been suffering for. But you know what? I will say this. I'm not always depressed. There are times in my life, every now and then, where I'm happy, that I'm having a good time, that I'm enjoying myself. Even though it may not seem like it, I am, and that's the truth. There are some times every now and again that I feel good, that I'm happy, that I'm enjoying myself, that I'm being positive. But you just don't see that side of me because I never choose to show it, because this channel is an incel blackpilled YouTube channel. And if you don't like it, you can go elsewhere. I mean, seriously. You don't have to stay here if you don't want to. This channel is specifically and only targeted towards a specific audience. Incels, obviously, and of course, black-pilled guys. And, you know, I'm just trying to have my voice heard. I just want to be understood. That's it. That's all. I want to find people who relate to me, who connect with me on a deep and personal level. And I will say this. I'm more happy when I'm not on my cell phone. When I'm just watching movies on my TV, or when I'm watching TV shows on my TV that I've bought over the years, I'm way more happy when it comes to those things. The more time I spend off and away from my cell phone, the more happy and joyful and cheerful and positive I am. But even then, there are still times where I'm still depressed, because obviously it's not like I can always be a happy, cheerful, glad, positive guy all the time. That would be creepy too. To just be constantly nonstop happy all the time, I think that would be pretty fucked up. That would not be normal, because it's normal for pretty much anyone in this world to have their ups and their downs, to have their good days and their bad days. But I have more bad days than normal people do. Way more. And, you know, that's just my life. That's what I have to deal with. That's what I have to accept. And there's nothing I can do about it, because that's just the life that I was given. The life that I was born into. And you know, honestly, it pisses me the fuck off that I'm this way. I hate the fact that I'm this way, but I can't change who I am. I can't, because this is literally who and what I am as a guy and as a person. I'm not normal, and I never have been. So what's the point of me even trying to be or attempting to be? And like I said earlier on in this video, I tried to be. I attempted to be. And I'm not going to repeat those things that I did when I was much younger that I tried to be normal by doing. You know, I just, I hate the fact that I don't have a girlfriend, or especially a wife, for that matter. Every single day that I'm alive, that shit just eats me alive. It crushes me. It breaks me. And you know what? Every morning that I wake up, while I'm still sleeping in my bed, still lying in my bed, I get morning wood, but not the kind of like normal and typical morning wood. I'm just like, every morning I wake up, I'm horny as fuck. And you know, it kind of stresses me out in a way to an extent because I have no way to release or relieve myself of my sexual frustration, my sexual tension or whatever, because I don't and never had a girlfriend or especially a wife. And, you know, I would love one. I wish I could have one, but that's all I can really do is wish, maybe hope that I may have one someday. But the truth is, I won't. And that kills me emotionally. It breaks me down because it's one of the like most ultimate reasons why I suffered like hell in my life since I've been a teenager. It's ruined me emotionally. And you know, it has damaged me so much to the point where it actually puts strain on my heart. You know, there's a lot of things that I hate in this world. And, you know, I wish I could get rid of this amount or level of hatred that I have. I really do. But I can't. It's impossible for me. Because of all the reasons that I've been suffering for and all the many years that I've been suffering for, I can't just let these dark, negative feelings or emotions that I have boiling up inside of me all the time just go like that. I can't just say, okay, leave. I want to get rid of you emotions of mine. Like, I can't do that. I'm incapable of doing that, unfortunately. Even as much as I wish I could, I can't. And, you know, it makes me depressed because, you know, it's not like I love having these emotions or feelings inside of me of things like hatred, anger, jealousy, envy. I don't. These feelings are emotions that I have inside of me that I've had since I was a teenager in the year of 2012, since I've been 15 years old. It doesn't make me happy. I mean, you know, I definitely do have an addiction to being negative most of the time. Not all the time, but most of the time. But I don't love being negative. It doesn't make me happy. I don't think it's good. I don't want anyone to watch my videos and think, oh man, it's so cool to be negative or to be dark or to be edgy or whatever. Like, no, it's not. I really don't want anyone to end up like me. But if you already are someone who is like me for your own reasons, then I'm sorry. My heart goes out to you. Well, my broken heart, or what's left of it. But when it comes to other people who have not yet suffered, don't take on after me. Don't look up to me. Don't be inspired or influenced by me. Don't think I'm some sort of good, cool, or whatever type of role model, because I'm not. I'm just a guy who is pouring his heart out to YouTube to a bunch of random strangers because this is pretty much my last resort. You know, I made this YouTube channel even 5 years ago when I was 20 years old in the year 2017 because it was my last resort. If I thought that there was some other way for me to get better and have a better life or whatever, I would have never made this YouTube channel in the first place. I would have never even thought to. If I knew that there was light at the end of the tunnel, if I knew that my life will get better, my life will improve, I just have to be patient, I have to wait, or whatever, I would not have done this YouTube channel. And you know, for some reasons, I do kind of regret making this YouTube channel because over the years, it has caused me a lot of problems. And it has caused me to have just an insane amount of enemies. I mean, there are so many reasons why people online hate me to death, pretty much. I mean, the crazy thing about the internet is that people will tell you exactly how they feel. They will not hold anything back, unfortunately. And I think that's the really fucked up thing about the internet is that people on this just terrible thing that has ever been created in the first place, this awful invention of the internet and of YouTube and whatever, has done more harm than it has ever done any good. Because most people on the internet, online, are like just pure evil. They're diabolical. They're narcissistic. They're full of themselves. They're extremely judgmental. I would say even more than I am. They love to make fun of and poke fun at people who have been suffering for so long in their lives. And, you know, in a way, I guess I kind of get it and understand it because, after all, on the internet, people go on the internet because they want to escape their shitty-ass lives. I get that. I understand that. I really do. And so, in a sort of way, I understand why people hate me to death. I understand why over the past 5 years that I've been on YouTube for, since I've been 20 years old in the year of 2017, that I've just created so many enemies that I have. But you know what? I've also made friends. And all the friends that I have made on the internet over the years, I love. I care about. I respect. I appreciate. I am grateful for all the friends that I have made on the internet over the years because of this YouTube channel that I made. And you know, that should be even pretty understandable because I've said in this video and even in my past videos on my YouTube channel that I've never had a single real friend. And that's one of the reasons why I did this YouTube channel. So that I could find friends and people who are like me, whether they be guys or girls. Because I'm not sexist. You know, if I make friends with guys, great. If I make friends with girls, great. But as long as they're people who are like me, I'm fine with either gender. And you know, I do have friends online who are girls. And you know what? I like them. Not like them as in like I want to date them or anything, but they're just simply my friends. And I like them as my friends. I appreciate them. I'm grateful for them. I enjoy talking to them. Same with the guys that I'm friends with online. I like them. I appreciate them. I'm grateful to be friends with them, and I enjoy talking to them when I do. And you know, the friends online that I have made over the years, are way better than any of the so-called fake friends that I had in my life since I've been in like elementary school, up until high school, up until the grade and age that I dropped out. So, I mean, in some ways, I don't regret making this YouTube channel, but in certain ways I do. Like the fact that I've been doxxed, and not just my personal information, but my parents as well, which pisses me off because my parents had nothing to do with my YouTube channel. And they didn't deserve to have their personal private information posted somewhere online. I mean, honestly, what did they do to deserve that? What? Oh, they made it so that I was born into this world, so I guess that's why they deserve to be doxxed? Like, I don't get it. Why did they get doxxed? I mean, doxing me is one thing, but doxing my parents, that's a problem. And it's just heartbreaking because not only did I get doxed once, but twice. 2 times. Our address when we lived in the city, and now our address of where we live in the country. Even though I never mentioned, not even the area in which me and my family live in the country. I never said the location or state. You know, we could have moved to a different state, a country in a different state, or a rural area in a different state. And I didn't say the location that we moved to, and I certainly didn't say the address. But you know, I feel just so horrible that when I was 20 in the year 2017, that I made the really stupid mistake of pretty much doxing my family's information, which was honestly an accident. I didn't know what would have happened if I did that. I'm honestly retarded, which is pretty obvious. Like in my video, and it's one of my favorite videos because it has a lot of views. I wish it had more though. But my video, 20 years old, never had a girlfriend, I mentioned my real first and last name. I mentioned the place that we lived in, the city. I also even mentioned the state. Even though I didn't mention or say the address, mentioning my real first and last name as well as the state and city I lived in was enough for the online internet trolls to dox mine and my parents' information. And you know, if I could have gone back and did that video differently, I definitely would have. And I wish I could have. You know, and at the time when I made that video, the problem was that I didn't have a fake YouTube name yet, an anonymous name to go with. Like, I didn't know how to do that video without saying or mentioning my real first and last name. But of course, it's my fault. But, you know, honestly, like, I just really do hate the fact that I'm still a virgin at the age of 25. It pisses me the fuck off that I'm still a virgin at this age. Sorry, I'm whacking all these stupid fucking bugs out of the way because they won't leave me the fuck alone. I hate these cocksuckers. And this is one of the reasons it's hard for me to even make a video out here in the woods, because all these stupid fucking cocksucking ass bugs will not leave me the fuck alone and flying around me like a bunch of motherfuckers that they are. But, you know, it's such a curse to be a man and still a virgin, to be 20 and still a virgin, 21, 22, 23, and so on and so forth, and still a virgin. And nobody will ever understand or know how any of us incels feel emotionally on the inside, because they themselves were never incels. So obviously they could never know or understand what it's like. Unless you yourself are or were an incel, only then would you know fully what it's like and understand. But obviously, if you're a man whore or a woman who's a whore or a normie, even those people or whatever, you'll never know what it feels like to be an incel, to be a virgin. And it's way worse to be a man and a virgin than it is to be a woman who's a virgin. Because, I honestly have to say that women who are incels, women who are virgins, are able to deal with being a virgin or being an incel way better than men who are incels. And that's just the truth, because, women aren't that aggressive. They're not physically or verbally as much as a man is, or like they don't have as many like aggressive, like manly emotions and feelings that us men do have. And one of the reasons why it's just so much worse for a man to be an incel than a woman is because one of man's biggest purposes and goals in life is to plant his seed, to procreate, to reproduce. And when he's not able to do that, he turns into a monster. And not only that, but men naturally and normally were made to be protectors and defenders. But when they don't have someone to protect and defend, like a girlfriend and a wife and children of their own, those things that a man is supposed to naturally do become distorted. So then a man who's an incel, who can't get a girlfriend or a wife for whatever reason, he turns violent, whether that be verbally violent or physically. And before incel even does become physically violent, and most of us don't, but obviously some of us do, but even for the little small amount of us that actually do become physically violent, all of us incels are attacked and condemned, as if we're all like that. We're all persecuted in that way, that we're all made to look like all monsters, when most of us are just lonely and depressed and stressed out and sexually frustrated and whatnot, and just trying to cope with our suffering the best way we can. But before an incel, some incels who become physically violent do, for the very small amount of them that actually do, they first become verbally violent. It's like a slow, gradual buildup until the point they snap, which is unfortunate. It is. And, with most of us incels, we just try our very best to deal with and accept our fate, our suffering, our problems, our issues, or whatever. And not only that, but we try our best to cope, whatever way that may be. Watching movies, watching TV shows, reading books, playing video games, listening to music, going for walks, whatever it may be. We try our very best to cope, even though, even all that coping that we could do ultimately doesn't do us any good. It doesn't help us. But I will say that I'm able to cope way better and much more when I'm not on my cell phone, because when I'm not on my cell phone, I don't see things that trigger the fuck out of me. Like, I don't see attractive girls on Instagram or on YouTube. I don't see attractive black women with white guys. I don't see attractive black women showing off the big cities that they're from. I don't see people who have gaming computers or whatever, or even like newer gaming consoles. Like, if I'm not on my cell phone, I obviously am not going to see things, at least not as often and as much, that trigger the fuck out of me. But anytime I go on my phone, I honestly just can't enjoy myself. I can't be happy. Being on my phone, especially for the amount of time I spend on my phone, is just stressful. It stresses me the fuck out every single time. And I have a problem with that because I'm so addicted to my cell phone. I wish I could stop. I wish I wasn't as addicted to my cell phone as I am, but I am, sadly. And I don't know. But anyways, I don't know. Like, I don't really know much else to say, and this video is already getting really long, so I guess I'm gonna stop this video. So let me know what you all think in the comment section down below. I'm out.